Hello and welcome in today's episode of Power FCB. In this episode, we're going to be talking about the mistakes that Football Club Barcelona have been doing. We're going to be talking about the mistakes that maybe Joan Laporta, the sporting director, Deco, have done. We're going to be talking about these players. Fermin Lopez. We're going to talk about Dani Olmo. We're going to talk about Mika Faye. We're going to talk about Joe Cancelo, Jeremy Frimpong, Ferran Torres, Eric Garcia, and Nico Williams alternatives. This is getting more heated. Visca Barca, Visca Catalonia. Now let's jump straight into this because we're going to be talking about the first signing. This Dani Olmo signed. Do we need it? Let's talk about the advantages and disadvantages of Dani Olmo. Now let's go straight to the advantage because adding Dani Olmo to this Barcelona squad, of course, is adding quality to the quality that we already have. We have a very good team. It's very easy to blame Xavi Hernandez because of the quality of the players that are in this team. And now adding Dani Olmo, of course, that is adding more flavor into the food. And now you're going to be adding depth. The depth that every club, for you to succeed, you need a very good depth because of injuries, because of fatigue that comes along the way. We have got a very good big season awaiting for us. We're going to be playing a very long La Liga waiting for us. Of course, we're going to be having internationals again. We're going to be having the Spanish Super Copa. We're gonna go to the Champions League. We're gonna be playing the Copa del Rey. We have a series of long matches that are waiting for us, and we need a good depth for us to perform at the highest level. And adding Dani Olmo into the squad is music to our ears. Again, it's a very good and proven goal scorer because we have seen him doing it in Europe, in the Bundesliga, playing for RB Leipzig. We have seen him, by the way, at the Euros. He was the top scorer in the Euros. No wonder Barcelona, no wonder Deco, the sporting director Deco, went and rushed to sign Dani Olmo. That is very interesting to hear about Dani Olmo. But now let's look at the disadvantages because where there are advantages, you can't lack the disadvantages. The disadvantages are more than the advantages. Listen to this, because there are many players in Barcelona who can play in that role that Dani Olmo plays, most especially under the 4-2-3-1 that is mostly used by the current coach Hansi Flick. That number 10 role that the second striker can be played by most players who are midfielders in Barcelona. Let's talk about this player, Fermin Lopez, because Fermin Lopez can do extremely very well at that point. He has proven himself. Pablo Torre is one of the players who have impressed Hansi Flick the most especially here at the preseason. Pablo Torre scored against Manchester City and FC Orlando, and he played very well against Real Madrid. He never played against AC Milan. And let's not talk about the AS Monaco match that we lost. It's not something I want to talk in this video. I'll make another video maybe concerning that match. It's so embarrassing. But Pablo Torre is a very good player, proven. He did very well at Girona, though he never got the minutes that he expected, but he did very well there, and in the pre-season is very good. He has impressed me personally. I would like to see Pablo Torre doing very well, and Barcelona should not let go of Pablo Torre. And thank you for Hansi Flick, because he has even requested Barcelona to sign Pablo Torre. Again, Fermin Lopez. Let me talk about Fermin Lopez because there are points that I've left behind. Fermin Lopez, this is a player that has proven himself that's a very good goal scorer. Can score in the box, outside the box, or whichever place that he is. Fermin has that urge to score. He's a very good goal scorer. He scored, I guess, 5 goals in the Olympics. My goodness, you can't deny the quality of Fermin Lopez as a number 10. I see Fermin Lopez a better version of a player than Dani Olmo. I see Dani Olmo as overrated. Very good player, but not at the level that we or most of the Spanish media rates him. They rate him extremely too high, but I don't think Dani Olmo is even better than Fermin Lopez. I see Fermin Lopez a player who has been limited to get minutes because he's very young and is not yet known to the world. This guy just came in last summer, and in the last season he never got the minutes that maybe he expected. But with the little that he got, Fermin Lopez proved to be a quality player. Again, Pedri can play as a number 10. He has done that over and over again. No wonder Pedri has been starting for Spain national team as a 10, and Dani Olmo in the same national team being on the bench. I mean, all the coaches, Luis Enrique, Luis de la Fuente, they can't be damned to bench Dani Olmo because Pedri is there. Now, we already have Pedri, but it's understandable that Pedri is an injury-prone player. It's understandable to go for Dani Olmo, but because we already have Fermin Lopez, Pablo Torre, and again Gavi, who can also play as a 10. My goodness, did we really need Dani Olmo? Again, we have Ilkay Gundogan. It is very easy to say that Gundogan can also play as a pivot because we have in a 4-2-3-1 we have a double pivot. I mean the two central defending midfielders forming that double pivot. He can play very well there, but he's best at number 10 role because look at what he did at Manchester City. I mean, he used to score again and again and again, and in that role he made Manchester City as one of the best teams not only in the Premier League but in Europe. So Ilkay Gundogan best position of course it's number 10, but he can play as a pivot, as a CDM. He has been doing that in this whole preseason. For the 2 matches at the preseason that he has played, he did very well at the double pivot. But remember, we all want Gundogan next or closer to the box because he's a very good, fantastic goal scorer. I'll go all the time, every time for Ilkay Gundogan rather than Dani Olmo. Do we really need this signing? That's a question that goes straight to Juan Laporta and sporting director Deco. Number 2, financially, that is not economically welcomed. I mean, because we did not need this kind of player. We needed a reinforcement maybe at the right back position. We're going to talk about it. The CDM maybe before Hansi Flick stepped into Barcelona training ground. Of course, he wanted badly to sign Joshua Kimmich, but he has witnessed the performance of two Marcs. I mean, the Marc Casado and Marc Bernal, and they're doing fantastic. I mean, they are doing very well. So I've seen both Marc Casado and Marc Bernal. I mean, these players are fantastic. I mean, it's very good for Hansi Flick because Hansi, as an experienced coach, and again, he used to be a very good player at Stuttgart and at Bayern Munich. I think you have seen something that I've already seen in Marc Casado and Marc Bernal. I personally wasn't impressed by Marc Casado, but in this preseason, I've seen the things that we all have never seen in Marc Casado. I mean, Marc Casado, in terms of playing, the understanding, the agility, I mean, he understands the field very well. He understands very well. His brains, the way he passes the ball, the way he reads the field perfectly. And Marc Bernal reminds everybody of Sergi Busquets because the way he handles pressure and escapes pressure is super fantastic. The two Marcs should be given time, play together day in, day out. They're gonna form a very good thing. I mean, don't let go of any. There are no rumors. No one is selling Bernal or Casado. Both of them had their contract extended. Good news to our ears. So the signing of Joshua Kimmich is practically ruled out because these two kids are doing very, very well and they're on low wages. Good for Barcelona's financial fair play that can allow them sign players. So Joshua Kimmich, we needed him. Barcelona needed him. Hansi Flick was spearheading the move for that. But right now, Marc Bernal and Marc Casado, super fantastic players. Well deserved. They should continue. Now, we also need a left wing forward. And that's where everything turned from bad to worse. From sour to bitter. Because left wing forward, who was the main top transfer target for Football Club Barcelona, Nico Williams. Nico Williams had agreed personal terms with Barcelona. Initially, everything was in place. Barcelona were waiting for a green light for a player to say, yes, I'm coming to Barca. Barca, go to La Liga. Pay the release clause that is in the contract of Nico Williams, registered by La Liga. Just pay the release clause and agree with the player, and here we go. But I don't know what happened. The key 21-year-old Nico Williams, I know many Barcelona fans are very, very much angered by Nico Williams' decision to stay at Athletic Club Bilbao. Nothing is official, but he has been given the number 10 jersey at Bilbao, meaning that everything indicates that he's closer to stay more than going to Barca. He's a 21-year-old kid. I'm not gonna blame him because maybe his decision making is poor. At 21, it's acceptable maybe to stay there. But the fact that he agreed personal terms showed that he really wanted to come to Barcelona. That was in the public domain. Nico Williams wanted to come to Barcelona. But I understand the pressure that a 21-year-old can be given by the family. I mean, his big brother, the bigger William, Iñaki Williams has been in the forefront of trying to convince Nico Williams to stay at least 1 year. For another 1 year, again, you can understand the pressure from the Bilbao management, from the Bilbao president. They want to extend another contract of him and add a high release clause of about 100 million euros release clause in his new contract. He has been given the number 10 jersey. Of course, that shows a lot of optimism by Athletic Club Bilbao to keep Nico Williams, and it's understandable. I mean, yes, we wanted Nico Williams badly. I personally wanted to see Nico Williams, but it's high time we accept that things are not always going to work in your way, and that's life. And you don't just stay there, you wake up and move on, because we are Barcelona. And I mean, Nico Williams needed Barcelona more than Barcelona need Nico Williams, because there are other alternatives that we're going to be talking about in a few moments. And now Barcelona went for Dani Olmo. I mean, up to that point, it's very clear to say that Dani Olmo signing was a big mistake. We really needed not to sign him. With the respect I have for Dani Olmo, as a culé, as a Barcelona fan, I mean, yes, you're a good player, but in this dire financial situation, it wasn't necessary. Now, number 3, signing Dani Olmo was a panic buy by Deco, because having seen Real Madrid, whatever they are doing fantastic, and having Dani Olmo, going for Dani Olmo was a panic move, because Barcelona was the only club that did not have a signing at that moment when we were signing Dani Olmo. It was the only club that did not make any signing. Real Madrid did very well last summer. They had 2 back-to-back winning in Clásicos. They destroyed Barcelona at the Supercopa de España. They won the league with more than 10 points above Barcelona. They won the league earlier they won the league very early, even before the end of the deadline day. And now, with that quality that Madrid had, they are the champions of Europe. They added Kylian Mbappe, and you could understand the frustration among the Barcelona fans towards the board to sign a player. And because Dani Olmo was the top scorer in the Euros, they had to go for Dani Olmo as a panic signing. That's not the signing we wanted. Barcelona. Now, let's talk about mistake number 2. Mistake number 2 that Barcelona is about to make is selling Mika Faye, either on loan or permanently. I mean, if Deco and Juan Laporta let go of this kid, I'm gonna blame them forever. We need a good defense to win the league. And with Mika Faye and Araujo, I mean, we are well covered. One-on-one situation in Barcelona, if you're playing against Barcelona, and you're maybe Mbappe, Vinicius, Jude Bellingham, the Rodrigos, and you are going against one-on-one against Ronald Araujo, that's a headache for you. No one wants that kind of a headache. If you're going against Mika Faye, it's a headache. You people haven't seen this kid. That's why maybe you don't understand what I'm saying. If you are understanding whatever I'm saying, then you have seen Mika Faye in action. I've seen him in the prison. He has impressed. I saw him last summer playing for Barca Athletic, and this kid is super fantastic. I mean, Mika Faye should stay at Barcelona because it's the next big thing. He's the only defender close to Ronald Araujo, because Ronald Araujo is not only the best defender in Barcelona, but also the best defender in La Liga, and one of the most important, the best defenders in the world, alongside William Saliba, Ruben Diaz, Kim Min-jae, and maybe the Romeros and Lisandro Martinez. I mean, you don't just let go of a player like that. You don't just with both Christensen and Araujo and Inigo Martinez, they are injury-prone players. We can't always 100% rely on them. And again, you can't rely again 100% on Pau Kubarsi, who is 17 years old. We don't know what will happen with him this season. Maybe things won't be the same. He's a very young kid, and we of course we want to see Kubarsi succeeding at Barcelona. We want to see Kubarsi doing whatever he did last summer. That was so fantastic, so welcoming, good. I mean, it was good for Pau Kubarsi, but depending on him against a club like Real Madrid, that we are going to face them 3 times guaranteed, and maybe 5, because if we meet with them in the Champions League home and away, it's going to be a very different story. Now, yeah, because we are guaranteed to play them in the Super Copa, guaranteed to play them maybe in the Copa del Rey, and again in La Liga home and away. And they have Rodrigo, Bellingham, Vinicius, Mbappe. And having seen how they did against Atalanta in the UEFA Super Cup, they're going to be... It's given. I mean, they're going to be a very, very good partnership players. They're going to be headache to clubs. So, letting go of Mika Faye, because you have Kubarsi, what if he gets injured? What if something bad happens to him? Fatigue is there. I mean, you need the energy and the athleticism of Mika Faye and Ronald Araujo. So letting go of Mika Faye, and you want to keep Eric Garcia. Please, 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 Deco. Stop it. And according to rumors is that we have seen AS Monaco interested, FC Porto interested, now Inter Milan have entered into the race to sign Mika Faye. That tells you this kid, they have been watching this kid, and this kid is super fantastic. Please, even if they give you 50 million euros, please, in 2, 3, 4 years, Mika Faye is going to be maybe better than Ronald Araujo and maybe the best defender in the world. And now, another mistake that Barcelona are about to sign is not to sign a right back. We have been linked with Joao Cancelo, Jeremy Frimpong. I don't know what happened. The rumors of Jeremy Frimpong died, and now there are rumors that Alex Valle might be staying. Julian Araujo was sold, and now again Joao Cancelo is still waiting for Barcelona to go for Manchester City. Talks are being done under waters. Nobody knows what is happening, but there have been optimism about signing Joao Cancelo maybe in the last minutes of the transfer. And now the mistake number 3, and this is a mistake that Barcelona have been doing over the season, over and over again. I mean, it's keeping Ferran Torres, Eric Garcia, and maybe Clement Lenglet. We know Clement Lenglet is leaving, good news to our ears, but keeping Ferran Torres again, this player has failed. He has failed to prove to us that he's a good player. He only runs. I mean, I've not seen better version of Ferran Torres. I don't think there is. I don't think there'll be change. Ferran Torres will always be Ferran Torres, and we have wasted a lot of money in paying him salaries, wages, and again the money that we are still paying Manchester City in the installments according to the clauses that were agreed in that deal. I don't know why, but Barcelona should find a way. Whether he likes it or not, please freeze Ferran Torres and register him. Keep him on the bench until he goes. Same applies to Eric Garcia. Please, Eric Garcia, go back to Girona. You did very well. Please, I don't want to see you at Barcelona. Not that you're a bad player, but you're not at the level of playing for Barcelona. I mean, please. And now, Barcelona top transfer target was Nico Williams. We're going to talk about Nico Williams in the next episode. Stay tuned to Power FCB. Subscribe if you haven't yet subscribed. Kindly give a like down below if you have liked the video. Let me know your thoughts concerning the signing of Dani Olmo. Was that a good signing? Do you think signing Dani Olmo, we were desperate to get Dani Olmo? Again, selling Mika Faye. Should Barcelona let go of Mika Faye? Because I see that as another very big mistake. Again, what do you think of Barcelona signing a right back? Are we going to sign Cancelo of Jeremy Frimpong? Should we keep Ferran Torres, Eric Garcia? Let me know your thoughts under the comment section down below. Visca Barça, Visca Catalunya.